a technology that offers such incredible benefits that why would you not want to take part in this technology that we're going to talk about? It's as easy as placing a patch. And so when we talk on this call, we're going to highlight quite a number probably of the technologies available, but we always like to start off with the X39 because the X39 is the most comprehensive of all the patch technologies that LifeWave has to offer at the moment because we are a company in quite amazing growth and there's going to be so much more to offer thanks to LifeWave and David Schmidt. Now, the X39 is like I said, a very comprehensive patch, and it is a wearable-like technology. And when that patch is placed on our skin, under our clothing, over our clothing, the only thing it needs to do is be within 3 inches of our body heat, because our body heat, also known as infrared light, activates the center of the patch. And when that center of the patch is activated, it takes in our light and then it reflects it back to us in a specific wavelength. So David Schmidt discovered a specific wavelength that he placed within the X39 structure that activates a protein that we already have in our body called GHK copper peptide. But over time, that peptide decreases and it doesn't allow us to do the repair and the regeneration that our body normally does and we're born with. But over time, that ability decreases. So thanks to this technology, the X39 increases that protein again, and it gets our cells to a younger, healthier, reparative, and regenerative state where we can bounce back from injuries better, or we can form that sort of like foundation that will help us get through anything that we can't foresee. It's always best to be prepared because we don't know what life is going to throw at us. And so when we place the patch, think of it in the simple terms of the sun. So when our bodies are in the sun, our skin is stimulated by the wavelengths that the sun emits. And two of those things, among others, the sun can do is it helps our body produce vitamin D or it helps our body produce melanin. So it's that same concept. It's called photobiomodulation, which is basically the for light inducing a change in our body, and it's for the better and for our benefit and for the improvement of our health. So things you might hear highlighted tonight are rapid pain relief, reduced inflammation, increase or improve sports performance, fast recovery from exercise, energy vitality, and something that's super underrated, sleep. Everybody needs sleep to function. And this is an incredible technology that gives you that better sleep so that you can wake up bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, I like to say. So now the LifeWave patches are a patented technology. And like I said, they're created by David Schmidt. They're non-transdermal, which means nothing goes into your body because the only thing that's being reflected back to you is your light. Now we wear the patches for 12 hours on, we give our body a 12-hour break, and then we put on a new patch because that is the optimal time that David Schmidt discovered that is the best for us when we use the patch technology. We put them on daily because the benefits compound over time. And when you use them daily, you will get the results eventually that you want or results that you didn't even know you wanted. But we have to wear them daily to get those benefits. If we patch inconsistently, the results won't be there to our liking. So that's why we have to patch every single day. And we're patient because the patches are intuitive and they will go to work where you most need it. So we can't pick the fix like our lovely Dr. Kathy says. The patches will go where they need to work first. It may be that thing you wanted attended to first, which is great for those of us that do. And then for others, it will take time. So be patient. And the general recommendation is to wear the patch for 1 month for every decade you have been alive to start. So patch daily, be patient, and be positive because something is happening from day one. Few housekeeping rules. Please use symptoms only. No diagnosis names. Tell us how you felt before the patching, what patch you used, and how awesome you feel post-patching and what you noticed. And share. We love to hear shares. Anyone who hasn't shared, please raise up your hand. We are a loving community. Be comfortable, share because we want to celebrate you. And Dr. Pam is in the house. Hello, Dr. Pam. So
Hi, Dr.
thank you.
Annabelle.
Hello, Mike. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr.
Yeah,
Annabelle.
I
Dr.
had a
Pamela,
hard time.
thank you for coming.
Here I am. Hey, Mike. Thank you for
Hey.
inviting me on. Yeah, and I had to be in a quiet place because this is something I said, you don't have to believe in these patches for them to work. People talk about the placebo effect. I have somebody really near and dear to me who does not believe in the patches at all. However, I decided that I'm just going to take a decision. I'm putting them under the pillow. I always talk about they work under the pillow as well, X39, X49. And so this morning we were talking and I said, you've been sleeping a lot. He says he's been taking Benadryl. So I said, Benadryl is going to put your blood pressure up. But he says, I want you to know I have not taken any blood pressure medicine for the last month. That blew me away because this man was on 3 different blood pressure medicines. Now, I'm not promising anybody that they'll get off of any medication because these patches don't cure, treat, or do anything, but they support your body to get back to a state of normalcy, which is we don't have a blood pressure problem, right? And so here we go. And I was so elated to hear that because I've been working towards this end for some time, but now I can share.
Oh, that's beautiful. So did you share that you were using the patches on his pillow?
Yeah, well, no, I told him you've been using these patches, I didn't tell how or where. I said, you have been using the patches.
That's beautiful.
You find that out in time.
Very, very nice.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Dr. Pamela. Appreciate that. That's a beautiful story. Denise.
Hi. I was on Doc Talk last night, and Jen asked me to share something that I shared on that call last night. We were talking about, the tingling in the feet, the burning, the numb, sometimes pain in the feet. And I had been working with a couple of patients that we were using, of course, the X39 and then occasionally IceWave. And I decided that because there's some circulation issues that we should add carnosine like 3 nights a week, wear them all through the night. I'm having some really fantastic results with that. So I just kind of wanted to tell everybody, I know our X39's the end all be all, but in the meantime, when you're trying to get to that result, you can use some of the other patches to kind of help you get there faster. And those carnosine patches, especially if there's a circulation issue with why you're having the tingling, we're having results with that. So I wanted to share with everyone.
And Michael,
very
I
good.
had Bishop Jim, because I was going to put this on before she spoke, his little his story. He asked me to share this story. He said, I have a downline whose mother is suffering from tingling feet and swollen feet and her legs. They feel very, very heavy. And so he was asking, besides the X39, should she put an Eon on or what? So I told him I would read it. Then, Denise, you had the answer. And I did tell him, but he couldn't be here tonight. So I just wanted to add that because he will be using this tape, I'm sure, to help a few people.
Oh, good, good.
Yeah.
And that's what we recommend. I know a lot of people were invited to watch these, and hopefully, the person who invited you like hook up with them later and get more insights on the patches. Thanks, Denise. Lynn, I know you always have like 5 or 6, so we'll take a few, and then if we get a little time, maybe share some more later.
So we're on the same thought process, because I was just getting ready to say I have 3 and I have 2 more if you need them later. So there we go. So the first one is I have a brand partner and her husband is 73 years old and he poo-pooed the patches, just didn't want anything to do with them. And he started wearing them anyway, though. And he started wearing in March of this year the X39, the X49, and the Eon. And he had been diagnosed with stage 3 chronic, can't say that. What can I say? Kidneys, bad. So, and the doctor said that he would never recover from this, that it was just a done deal. This was it. Rest of his life, this was exactly how it was going to be. And so he didn't even wear the patches for that, thinking that's a done deal. Well, he just saw his doctor and they did the test and he no longer has that, does not have that at all. And the tests prove it. Isn't that amazing?
That is amazing. I love stories like that.
Oh, yeah. So, so I asked her, I said, what did the doctor say? And she said, nothing. So anyway, I guess what can he say, right? And so then I had another brand partner that was eating dinner with a friend and a couple, and he cut his thumb really bad with a knife. And it was so bad that he had it up in the air during their dinner because it hurt so bad. So she grabbed the X39 off of her husband's neck and slapped it on her friend's thumb, and instantly he had no pain, no throbbing. Yeah. So he was able to sleep through the night. And then the next morning he woke up and he said, "Bring me another one, please." So so I expect to hear in about 2 or 3 days that puppy's healed up. And then the third one, I have a new brand partner that just started the X39 a few days ago, and he also bought the sleep patches. And he has had a terrible time sleeping for years and years. And he said it's a miracle if he ever sleeps through the night. He used our Silent Night sleep patch for the very first time, and he slept through the entire night. And he said that product alone is worth $1 million because this is going to radically change his life. You know, if you don't sleep, you have health problems, you can't get things done, you're groggy, you can't think as clearly. And so this is your body can't recover. So it's what we do is life changing.
Yeah. And Rabba Mascari told me this one time, and I've used this for a while. I don't think I've ever shared it before. Is I take the sleep patch and I just take one side of it off because it has those two
Yeah,
pieces of backing. Because you're only going to use it maybe 8 hours, maybe 9.
yeah,
So they're
yeah,
good for 12. So what
yeah,
I do is I have one of them that I take one side of the backing off and I put it
yeah,
on,
yeah.
and
I
and
have a
then the other
couple
one
here. Yeah,
there it is. And
yeah,
so the other one that I use the night before, when I take it off, I save it, and then
yeah,
when I take one, put it on one side, take one, the other one, I take the other side off and put it on, so I get a super boost. So I get a nice silent night I just go deep right away, and that's one thing. So for longest time, I just taken. I was like, I guess I'm not going to get the full benefit from that. And then I heard that from Robin. So you can double boost yourself so some people sometimes have trouble getting to sleep initially. So when you
yeah.
double boost yourself like that, I can tell you, you're down. All right.
That's
Very quick.
amazing. That's awesome.
Yeah. So a
Yeah,
little piece, little things we've all learned over the years.
yeah.
Thanks a lot. You got any more
I
you
do
want to
have a
share?
couple more. You want to hear them now?
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So these are actually about me. I had a night, speaking of our silent night patches, I had a night where I know me, and when I get up in the middle of the night, I can't think about anything real or I can't go back to sleep. It's just, I've been that way for years. So the other night I thought about something real, and sure enough, I didn't go back to sleep. I got up for the day and I accomplished a lot because I was up for so many hours, but by the end of the day, it was just difficult. And then I remembered, Lynn, you have silent night patches. All you had to do is just to slap a sleep patch on yourself and you could have gone right back to sleep. And I was talking to Bishop Jim about it. And I said, there is one time our patches do not work. And he said, "When's that, Lynn?" And I said, "When you don't put them on." So there you go. That's my one story. So it happened again last night. This time I slapped on a sleep patch. I was out like a light. And then the second thing is, so yesterday I was just doing my thing. And all of a sudden I got this really severe back pain. No reason for it. I didn't lift anything funny. It was just there. And I put patches on, didn't do anything. And I thought, this can't be real. But I was so busy. I was super busy all day into the night. And I couldn't figure out why the patches wouldn't work. And my back still hurt really bad. I woke up this morning and I thought, you didn't drink water. So I had 3 glasses yesterday. I hardly had any water. I was so busy. So this morning when I woke up, I had 3 glasses of water. I put the LifeWave patches on my back, and within 30 minutes, the pain was gone. And I was able to do everything I normally do, but it's the water that is so key to our patches.
Wow, that's a good point. So
Yeah.
we're always talking about that. Sometimes like you did, you you forget about it. You don't drink as much. But that's a great example of what can
Yeah.
happen, because these
Yes.
patches are basically your body is mostly water, and the patches basically are activating the water in your body, and it needs a little help. So you need to replace some of that water and so forth. So that's a good point.
Yeah.
Uh,
It was critical. It was mission critical. So if we want our patches to work, we have to drink water. Well, we have to wear them, first of all, and then we have to drink water.
Excellent point. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Shelley.
Hi, Michael. Hi, everyone. I have an exciting little share for you guys. A few years ago, my optometrist would do a scan on my eye, just as a comprehensive exam. And he noticed a little spot on my retina. And he said, I want to monitor this. So every year when you come in, we'll do the scan. And I said, okay, that's fine. So I was just at his office on Friday, this past Friday. He did the scan. And I asked him, I said, how does my retina look? And I said, is that spot still there? And he said, I don't see a spot. He said, your eyes look amazing. He said, they look really healthy. And he lowered my prescription in my glasses. And I'm just thrilled. My wish is, to keep patching and just stay consistent. And hopefully one day I won't have to wear glasses. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. It was really exciting. I was sharing it with everybody.
Wow, that's awesome. Dr. Annabelle.
I love it, Shelley, because I share that same desire, that same dream to be able to wake up and not need my glasses. And so that's going to be awesome when it does happen because I have faith that it is going to happen. But we got to, just like Lynn said, we got to be consistent and we have to drink water and we just have to be kind to ourselves too. So I have two shares. One of them is about me, but one of them is about this lovely, beautiful soul that I have become friends with. And she too follows you, Michael. She is fantastic human being. And so I'm going to share her story first. So what she wrote to me was, I'm a 59-year-old and I have done a lot of physical work my whole life. We decided to build a fire pit in our backyard. So I went to the Home Depot and with a trailer and loaded 28 retention wall blocks for the fire pit. Took them home, unloaded them. I truly felt sure that I would experience some sore and achy muscles that I have not used much over the winter months. Much to my surprise, I felt no soreness or achy muscles. Normally I would, but believe my patching for the last 6 months with X39 and X49 has freed me from the dreaded pain. So I was like, that is awesome. Like, who doesn't want to get stuff done and just not worry that you're going to pay for it when you can't move later on? And so, like, you can just continue living life and being active and doing what you normally want to do. So, that was a really exciting one when she shared that with me. And then I have a strange one that I experienced. So off and on, and I don't pay attention, so I confess, I don't pay attention to stuff myself sometimes. I get this whooshing sound, like my heartbeat in my ear. I don't know, I have to pay attention. I'm going to start writing a journal like when it happens, but I get this whooshing sound. And sometimes it goes away. Normally it goes away on its own. I never paid attention how long it took. So I had gotten up, I felt the whooshing thing, and not more than 10 seconds, a thought popped into my head, and it was what I heard during the doc talks on Sunday, which are also just like these calls, invaluable for learning. And Dr. Velvet mentioned that her husband was suffering with ringing in the ears, and he would put a patch behind his ear. So what did I do? I took off my patches. So I happen to have my X39 and X49 and I taped them together because sometimes I just to have the adhesive so I can take it off and shower. I just taped it onto my skin. So I pulled it off, put it on my ear. 1 second later, the whooshing was gone, like instantaneous. And I was like, if I didn't believe so wholeheartedly in these patches, I would think like, what was that? So I'm really excited for it to happen again so I can test it again because I'm like in total shock and disbelief. But if you ever experience that whooshing sound behind your ear, just slap your patch right behind it and see if it does the same thing it did for me.
Wow, that's a good one. Wow. I love it. Thanks, Dr. Annabelle.
Thank you.
Chris. And Chris, I got to tell you, you keep getting younger, man. And in fact, when I first saw you when you went video, I was like, that looks like a SEAL buddy that I had back in the day. And you're like, he was a stud. I was like, dang, that's Chris.
Yeah, well, I'm doing pretty good at the gym, also working out. So
Sweet.
hopefully I can look like a SEAL.
All right, very good. It's happening.
So, quick share. I've been dealing with this leg pain for a couple of days, and I was like, well, I have the LifeWave patches, and my leg pain felt like it was a blockage in my leg. It was weird, weird feeling. So I put the LifeWave patches on it, and today I have no pain there, nothing. It seems like whatever was blocked, just gone.
Hmm.
So it was just what an experience that was. It was like bothering me, and it was just like hitting my leg to like see if I can like move it or whatever it was. But once I put the LifeWave patches on, it just moved that energy through, and that was it. No more blockage.
Nice, nice. Very good, very good. Yeah,
Yep.
good stories. Moving energy, and that's what these patches are good. Something's out of whack. Put a patch on it. It's done. It's fixed. As long as you're drinking water. So keep the water coming. Now, my own stories along with you, Chris, is I went super heavy, like I told everybody back in the wintertime that I did the most leg press that I've ever done in my life, like well over 1,000 pound leg press, and at 64. So my whole life I've done stuff that's like way beyond what any human being can do. Even at my age. So now I'm getting ready to because I want to do this long trail hikes coming up this summer, very very long, and so I'm getting myself in shape for that. So I'm doing like, hour and a half. I split routine now. So hour and a half. My wife and I go to the gym and I bring her back home and I go back to the gym. I'm like doing like these crazy long workouts, and I keep going longer and I'm like, man, I could do three of these. I could do another hour and a half. So I'm there, so I'm ready to, launch to do these long hikes that are basically like I was doing on the Pacific Crest Trail, where I would hike all day long for like, 20 miles. And I go to sleep and get up early the next morning and hike another 20 miles and go to sleep, get up, hike another 20 miles. So I'm getting myself ready. And that was like 10 years ago I did that. So 10 years later, I'm getting in shape to do that again. And that's the power of the patch. The power of the patch is allowing me to, even though when I did it, that was something that I always wanted to do. When I was a SEAL, it's like, I want to work out all day long. And all the SEAL guys were like, no. So I was like, come on. So, and then, I had to do it on my own because that's normally what I do. And so now after 10 years, I'm getting ready to do it again. So, and at 65, I'll be doing it. It's crazy. So, there's no limit. There's no age limit. When you're doing the patches, it's gonna reverse your age, like we're seeing, like I just pointed out with Chris, like I see it a lot of you over the last couple of years. You guys keep looking younger. We're all looking younger, and then those people that are coming into the patch, they're experiencing the same thing. It's great. Mother Swami,
Hello.
hello,
I
good to see you again.
Good to see you. Thank you so much for everything. I am just again very thankful for everything that my daughter and I are helped with the patches. My detox continues, but I want to talk about two more moms that have become brand partners of mine who are also single moms of children that also experienced the worst of the worst of the worst, and they're literally fighting for their lives. So I'm extremely thankful that I can help them with the patches. And they immediately, both of them immediately had results of feeling more energetic, feeling more capable to deal with the insanity and super burnout and extreme trauma, in the sense of feeling more focused, having more concentration, and just not being so thrown off with any irritation that comes along, but being able to maybe feel irritated for a sec, but come right back and deal with things. One specifically said she's the one who started a little earlier. So she said she really does not explain it other than that she's able to deal with all the tasks. She has to write all these papers for courts and medical doctors and you name it, and then deal with her son. And it's just way too much for 3 people. And she feels that she's able to do all that more now without even realizing time goes by or without worrying too much about anything. So that's amazing. And I'm extremely thankful for that. Makes me teary-eyed. I'm sorry. It's just, I'm very, very
That's
thankful.
good. I'm glad. Yeah.
And the other one said that she felt lighter legs right away, which I actually also experienced. I had forgotten. I think that comes from being so burned out, and when you're constantly on your legs and constantly running, literally, that the patch just makes it feel less heavy. And what I also really think the patch is for, that these both mothers, especially the first one mentioned, was that more good people are coming into their lives. So I explained that as to myself as if they're in a better frequency, it seems like they're resonating with a better frequency, with a higher frequency, and they're able to resonate with more helpful people finally. And so that's amazing. And the last thing about the child of one of the moms, who's 4 or 5 almost, not only he was able to do a very complicated dental procedure and recover faster, but he also is able to play now with a kid his age in a quote unquote normal way, healthy way, which he was not able to do. So that's an immediate improvement.
Oh, that's beautiful. Wow. Great stories. I mean, your story is amazing, and you're like helping other people have these incredible stories as well. Thank you so much. Great,
I
great
think
shares.
Thank you. I just want to say, if anybody, I mean, I was really skeptical, and anybody who's been through anything remotely close to what I've been through, or these moms, will be super skeptical. But these patches really help. They really, they work more than anything, and we've tried everything. So I just highly recommend to anybody.
Thanks so much, Mother Swami. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Great seeing you again. Great stories. Always appreciate you. Jen Allen.
Yeah, I raised my hand for Barbara, but I have one comment, Barbara, before you talk. So put your mic on, Barb. She couldn't get her hand up. But in hearing Mother Swami talk, I remember when Lynn came on for the first time and explained her rough life. I'll say that for the first 5 years. I always say harmed. But you said you pulled over to the side of the road after wearing the patches and you finally had feelings. You started crying and you couldn't believe that you could feel because you couldn't all these years, because you had to protect yourself. You're better at it, but I got chills top to bottom. I look like I'm frozen there. There we are. But anyway. I'll be quiet. But Lynn, your story and Mother Swami. And by the way, I got them together. So now they're working together.
Good,
Oh my
Jen.
God,
Praise
that's
God.
awesome.
Yes. I've been meeting these women and children too,
Oh.
doing Zoom with them. They're over in Europe. And I have to say, I hope I don't cry just like her. My heart is so blessed to be able to see these little ones and be able to have these procedures and come through it and to see the moms calm. It's just, there is nothing on this planet like LifeWave, and there's nothing on this earth that helps like our patches. And it is such a blessing and a privilege to be able to help humanity during the worst of the worst times, help all these beautiful souls. It touches me deeply.
Wow.
Oh yeah, that's
You
great.
can't forget Barbara now. Barbara, you wanted to speak. I raised my hand for you. So start.
Michael, you can't forget me.
Oh, never. Of course not.
I'm going to have to ditto what Lynn was just saying. I mean, the people we come in contact with via sharing LifeWave can be priceless. But what I was going to share was simply say that something happened to me today that just really warmed my heart and made me so grateful for some of the people that you help. Because with LifeWave, we have We have our brand partners who join us, and we have our amazing customers. And I had a gentleman that I had met with that is 88 years old, and I started him on the X39. So you guys, just because we're all getting our 80s doesn't mean you can't still help us, okay? Don't forget us older folks, okay? But 88. And he's a retired minister. And when I met with him, he wanted to know all about it. And he said, well, and I told him there's different ways that you can join. Oh, explain to me every one. What's my options? Well, he decided he was going to be a preferred customer plus, which was great because I explained, that you get the free patches to play with and try and experiment with, and et cetera, et cetera. And he said that today, he says, I ordered the patches from you because when you started talking about them, God told me to get the X39. And he said, I'm not going to go against that. And he said, I don't really need the other patches, but I'm going to get the PC Plus. Let me start with that. So I got him all set up for it, And so today I met with him for a follow-up, or is it, don't know if it's recording, but anyway, he almost cut me off, Michael. I know you did that. Anyway, long story short, he said, I want to give you, I've already received 2 months supply of the free patches to try. He had not opened them. And he said, I have to tell you that God just keeps telling me, Bob, you just need the X39. And I said, well, God knows best. And I said, our inventor tells us all the time, it does a little bit of every one of those other patches. He loves us to start with the X39. And I said, so you don't even want to try these others? I gave him the value of the patches that he was getting for free. I said, this is $35 or more worth of free patches every month that you're getting. Oh, he said, I don't care about that. He says, what I want to do is I want to give you all of these little sleeves of patches, and I want you to give them to somebody who can't afford them. I mean, it just like melted my heart. In all my 5 years, I've never had anybody give up their free patches. So they'll be put to good use. I promised him I will pay them forward. We're going to give them to the person who needs them the most, because he said, the X39 is doing everything for me. And I said, well, tell me what it's doing for you. He says, well, I hardly couldn't get up and walk very far. And he says, now I'm walking up and down the halls and I'm doing this and this. And he said, it's got to be those patches. So he said, please just pay it forward and give it to somebody else. So I just thought that was the nicest thing when he called back and told me that. It was like, man, it makes everything that we do sharing with people worthwhile, because you just never know who's going to be helping somebody else. So thank you guys. And thank you, Michael, for sharing with everybody and getting the word out to so many people that there is something there that can help people without putting anything into their body at all. Priceless. Thanks, Jen, for being my assistant. You're accustomed to that a lot. Can you hear me? I can't hear you, Jen.
I'm muted, but I was trying to get Mike to unmute. So,
Yeah, I didn't know. It's like everybody was froze there for a minute. So
Yeah.
you here with us, Michael? You are.
Yeah. Go ahead,
Okay.
Denise.
Yay.
Did you call on me?
Yep.
Oh, okay, great. I just kind of wanted, I've been hearing so many stories talking about, the energetics. We are energetic beings. And for some of the new people on, I've said this before, but, in the acupuncture meridian system, we have energetic flows through different systems in the body, and they can become sedated for various reasons. One is malnourishment. And let's face it, most Americans are malnourished. Even if they're overweight, they're not nourished well because we have so many foods that are actually not food that we're eating anyways. Another thing is traumas. Physical traumas can sedate a nerve and energy flow through a certain meridian, and then you'll after the sedation of the nerve and energy flow, you'll start to have the biological problems show up. It first starts in the energetics. And then there could be the emotional traumas. So I'm hearing about all these traumas and then hearing these great stories. And I just wanted to kind of just remind everybody that when this technology is so beautiful at helping to restore nerve and energy flow. So you could have, and it can be immediate. You're hearing these stories, it's immediate. They put it right on, and all of a sudden that energetic pathway opens up, and then the body can do what it's meant to do, right? You're getting better energy flow at that meridian. You're getting better oxygen, blood flow, nourishment. And so I just kind of wanted, for some of the new people that don't know and understand how the energetics work through the body, these patches will literally open up an energetic pathway so that the body can actually work and function the way it's meant to, because we have so many insults that we're dealing with every day. And that's why I always say, when they say wear them for 1 month for every decade you're alive, and I'm like, no way, we wear them forever. This is the long game, because we're not going to stop aging, and we're not going to stop having these insults coming at us constantly in our air, our water, our food, the actual energetics that are being, we're being inundated with. So I say we keep wearing them, and we become the mighty soldiers and of light that we are actually meant to be. So I just wanted to share that.
Oh, that's very sweet. Thanks, Denise. Ajay.
Yay, she's here.
Yay.
Unmute. Here I am. Oh my gosh. Okay. Wonderful. Ina MJ here. And you're seeing my steering wheel. Let me flip the script here. I don't know how to do all of that. It's too fancy for me. How do you flip the script? Oh boy. You see my car.
Bottom right corner, you can flip that little
bottom right corner.
You can hit something. Don't worry about it. But
okay, yeah. Well, I'm so sorry, guys. I don't know how to flip the script. And anyway, maybe I'll just turn the camera around. Ha ha ha. Hello.
Oh, there we
okay, so
thank you.
Thank you. I hope I look better than my steering wheel. Okay, so I truly believe in age reversal. I'm turning 61, and so the product totally works for me. I love all of it, and I use all of it for the last almost 6 years. And my story started out, I have 2 stories actually, and it started out with me actually I was mobile, able, and capable, and the next minute I knew I was on the ground contorting in a fetal position. And I started screaming and crying, and I cried and screamed for 2.5 months. And from that point, my husband was running up and trying to figure out what's going on. I don't know what's going on. I can't tell him what's going on. And toxic stress and silent stress, 2 different things. They will take you out of here. They will literally make you think that you're dying, and literally you feel like you're dying. And no doctor can ever give you enough medication, though they try, to reach that level of pain. Because you got nervous pain, you got toxic pain, you got all muscle pain, you got joint pain, you have all kinds of things going on. And when all of that crashes along with everything else you have going on, your body, it doesn't recuperate under Western medicine. It has to be something that's going to go into your cellular system and go into your arteries, your veins, your capillaries, all the way down to that, to your nerves, and regenerate, reactivate, and take away the stress that's in there. And the only thing that I knew of, that my husband found out about through our business partner, Michael Accurso, was these stem cell technologies. And he said one day, I know Ms. J's over there in a whole lot of pain, but maybe this will help her because it helped me. Well, when he got a hold of these technologies, he put it on the back of my C7, and I knew a little bit about biology, the colors in our body, yellow, red, white, red, yellow, blue, and green. And red being, that means that you have no more cooling colors in your body. And so your body's on height. And that's exactly where my body was. I was on height because I didn't have the white, blue, green, and yellow colors to cool my body off. And so when the patch a heat to the C7, it sent me on a frenzy. I literally thought someone had taken a torch and set my body on fire inside. And so my husband makes a phone call real quick, and unbeknownst to who he was calling, he was just leaving a message. Before he even put the cell phone down, the phone was ringing in his hand. And unbeknownst to him who was on the other end, he says, Mr. Scotton, he goes, this is the scientist, the CEO and founder of LifeWave, which is the product that your wife is using. My name is Mr. David Schmidt. He didn't know me from a can of paint. Now, I ask you, have you had anybody ever ask you or talk about your symptoms that you're having, the flare-up that you're having from any medication or pharma that you are taking? Absolutely not, right? But this is the kind of man that we represent in this company. A man with empathy, a man that cares, a man that loves, and a man that is about God's mission. And so he said, I understand that Mrs. Scotton is there in a whole lot of pain. I would like to speak to her. And when he started speaking to me like a well-stirred martini, I'm here to tell you that Mr. David Schmidt said, whenever that happens, so let's take this note, guys. Whenever that happens, it's called a healing crisis. People have different types of healing crisis. Don't be afraid when someone tells you that. Just say, put it on and take it off, drink water. Put it on, take it off, and drink water. By the time you do it the third time, it will re-regulate the colors back into your system, and it will cool your body down. That reaction will go away instantaneously. I was able to sleep within the second time my husband put it on. He did not take it off. And the next morning, my pain was gone. And I was screaming, the pain is gone, the pain is gone. Oh my gosh. And it never came back. That's my story. Now, I do have one quick one. My girlfriend has been in the hospital since December, and she's been suffering with multiple strokes, and no one knew. For a long time, no one knew that she had multiple strokes, and it turned into seizures. And that right there had put her into a coma, and she's been in a coma ever since. Well, the last month and a half, I've been patching her with the X39 and the Eon. And I put the X39 Eon on her forehead on the third eye. She had not opened her eyes. She cracked them open, but she hadn't opened them. And she's not able to speak. And she's still not able to speak. She's trying. But this is the first time within the 3 days of using the patches on her third eye on the C7, of her back of her neck. And I'm here to tell you her eyes have been open for more than an hour. And she's actually moving her head towards the voice. Don't tell me this doesn't work. It also worked for my nephew that was about to have brain surgery the day before. He walked up out of the hospital and never returned. Pictures don't lie. Proof doesn't lie. Stem cells don't lie. This technology doesn't lie. Please try it. Thank you.
Thanks, MJ. You tell such a great story. I love it. Thank you so much for coming in. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
We love
Blessings. Happy healing.
Maria.
Yes, hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
I hope this will be useful for somebody. First of all, I just absolutely pleased. Just how can I say? I'm just so excited about this technology, and I'm of course using the X39 every day, and I try to do the X49, but I don't have as many of those patches. So, and the problem for me is financial, not being able to buy more right now. But the other thing I wanted to mention, and I welcome any input, the SP6. I was having a problem, sort of a, let me say not problem, but I was finding myself really craving sweets and all that, like a piece of toast with jelly on it and all that. And so I put the SP6 on, and it just really made it even worse. So what I'm thinking, what I came to the conclusion that what that was telling me, that it's like my nutrition is so bad. It's saying, hey, I don't know if this makes sense, but it was like giving me a real red flag about that, about my nutrition is bad. And so I had to get something. Now, I will say this, one of the reasons I don't have good nutrition is because my teeth are so bad. I'm missing a lot of the upper teeth and I can't chew things well. So I haven't been eating things like salads and apples and things like that. So anyway, I'm not discouraged by anything because I just know these patches are absolutely run. Any input I would appreciate. Thank you.
Great. So anyone have any insights?
I'd like to say that even without the dental, and being able to chew, you can always blend. You can blend those things and get a lot of substance and nutrients out of blended foods. So I would encourage you to, if you don't have a blender, if you don't have a Vitamix, maybe save for one. Let me know where you are. I'll send you one.
No, I actually have one. I have one. So that's really a great idea. I mean, do you think that I was right on? It made me voracious for food when I used it.
You're starving, so yeah. I would be blending as many fruits and vegetables, and you can even do oatmeal. You can add real oatmeal, real stuff, to smoothies that have a lot of substance and a lot of nutrients packed in. Maybe Jen can get you my contact information, and I'll try to get you some recipes that we use for people that are not able to chew. I mean, we've had a lot of people with their jaws. What do you call it?
I don't know, TMJ, something like that.
They can't eat. Broken jaws. And getting them some good,
or lockjaw.
Yes, or even lockjaw. And there's a lot of other reasons why people may not be able to chew. You could just have one dental implant and you're not able. But there's some really good recipes that are dense in nutrients. Let's get you nourished while you're using that X39 and see a rapid change, I think.
Oh, thank you so much. That's exactly what I need. I'd appreciate those recipes.
Yeah, Jen, if you can connect us, I'll get her some recipes.
Let's go. Let's go.
Thank
you.
Attention.
Thank you.
Joanne.
You mean Kathy? Oh, I thought
I have Joanne. Looks like she's next, but if Kathy wants to go.
Are we unmuted? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. I was just saying the SP6, I had the same reaction when I
Never
started it.
finished your.
The
even
same
started
thing
your.
happened to me when I,
It's okay.
can you hear me?
Yeah, I just muted someone. I just muted someone.
Go
You're
ahead,
good.
Joanne.
All right, Jen, I just want to answer the question on SP6. SP6, I tried it and I got the same reaction. I was so hungry the first day. After a couple days, it leveled off and it all went away. So I hope that helps. If she sticks with it, it probably will level off. And now it's great. The cravings have gone away. It's really, really good.
Thank you.
So I hope that helps.
Yeah, it sounds like she needs nutrition, so I think Denise is going to help her out. So
yeah,
and then the
yes.
SP6 will help her cravings after that. Yep.
Yes, it will.
In her particular case, I would suggest that perhaps her cravings are coming from the starvation. And I know that that sounds odd to people. What do you mean you're starving? You know, we can be, you know, look like we have meat on our bones, but we can be in failure to thrive and from malnourishment. So I'm thinking that that's partly why the cravings are kicking in. The body's searching for something. This is one of the reasons, if you don't mind me getting off on a little tangent, one of the reasons why we tend to be overweight in this country, because the body stays in a hunger mode because it's searching for nutrients. So you go through that drive-through, right? Your Big Mac is not going to feed the body. And people go, I don't know, I just ate a Big Mac and I'm hungry again in 2 hours. Well, that's why. The body's still looking for what it actually needs. So I offer that.
Very good. And often that's protein. You're not getting enough protein in the body. So what I've noticed, so that's why a lot of people eat and eat and eat, because they're not getting that protein source that they need. So a lot of carbohydrates our diets have a lot of carbohydrates in it. So we just eat and eat and eat. You're not getting the protein your body really craves. So hopefully we'll help her out with that. Kathy.
Yeah, I totally agree with everything you guys are saying. I was on a call one night and I heard someone have that same experience. And one of the doctors that were on there said that she may have a type of reverse polarity, since it's on the left side, to experiment with it and put it on the right side. That it could help her out that way. So just another option that she has to try.
Good point. Yeah, that's good. All right, we have several minutes left. Anybody else want to share some stuff? We can, Lynn. We have our backup Lynn, so she can come in and share a couple more always.
Yes. Okay. So I'll share a couple more. I have one about another one about me. So our aloe vera patches prevent sunburn. I'd always heard that. And I've worn the aloe vera patches. See, I've been on the patches since February of last year. And there was a day last week that was just super hot here. And I was busy in the morning and I didn't get out until noon. And for the most part, I've stopped wearing suntan lotion since it contains carcinogens, causes cancer. So, you know, why bother? And so I was out running at noon and I was out for 2 hours, straight sun. No, and normally I run early in the morning, no suntan lotion on because of that. And I got home and I realized I didn't have a sunburn. Now, this was the first time I'd been out in the sun like that for this season, this summer season, and I should have been burned pretty bad from that. And instead, I was just like gently tan. And that's our patches. Yep. So that's one. And then, oh, Jen has her hand up. So you want me to pause?
Okay. Go ahead.
I'll jump in on the suntan thing. Since I've been using the patches, you know, every year I get a little bit of, a little bit too much sun. Since I've been using the patches, I haven't had any of that for years now. So it does make a difference. Thanks for sharing.
You're not getting sunburned either.
Yeah.
Really? Okay. Yeah. Well, I'd always heard that, but yeah, now I know I've experienced it.
Very good.
Mine will be real quick, Michael, but I did raise my hand since you asked. I've been wearing this patch all day and it's a carnosine patch. And then I heard Denise last night talking about carnosine on the feet, and I have some of that, not pain, but I have the throbbing. So I got a carnosine on each foot and here on my jaw, which it's really helping that because I have an infection there. So anyway, that's my story, short and sweet, but I wanted to
Good.
share. I'm
Very good.
pumped up on carnosine. Hey, Lisa.
Hey, Lisa.
Hey, I wanted to confirm what you just said, Lynn, about the elevated because I'm pasty white. Like it takes me a lot to tan. I burn. And I was in Mexico for 3 months. We had sun every day. I didn't see rain and I did not burn. And I would sit out for hours. I would work outside or go out in the sun, and I just got tan. And I actually got the darkest I've ever been for me, which is a lot. And I was in shock because I've actually had to really be careful because I've had issues with other things being removed off of me. But yeah, I can absolutely, it's really great to help with that, with the sunburn.
Ah, beautiful. Thanks, Lisa. Anyone else want to share?
Yes, I would like to share. This is Anna MJ again.
Okay, MJ.
Thank you. Sebaceous cysts. Oh my gosh. When I first started, as I was, recuperating from my episode, I had some things that, I just been suffering with for more than 30 years. And that's sebaceous cysts in various parts of my body. The middle of my chest or middle of my breast, size of $50. And if you took a needle and you stuck that needle straight through my spine, my chest to my spine, there was another one just as big on my spine. And if you took that needle and you went to my C7, right below it, there was another size of a quarter. If you took it to the left and you pointed on my shoulder, right behind my shoulder, right behind the shoulder bone, there was two. And so I would always have to go get it lanced. And oh my gosh, talking about painful, sticking 12 times in a circle with horse needles in your chest with no anesthetic or no painkiller, nothing freezing it, nothing, because they have to know if they're hitting the bone or what have you. And oh my gosh, the pain was horrific. Screaming, I think I tore a couple of their arms off. And so at that point, I said, you know what? I refuse to go back under the needle. I refuse to get it lanced again. I refuse to go through this kind of pain. And sebaceous cysts, if you don't know, are very nasty. And they stink. They don't stink, they stink. Okay? And a lot of nasty black stuff, green stuff, all kinds of yellow comes out of it. And when you get ready to pop it, it just splurs all over everything. Anyway, the bottom line is I put on the X39 first, the first day, and it softened it up because it's pretty hard. It softened it up. Then the next day, I put on the glutathione. When I put that glutathione on, it started to drain. Oh my gosh. It was soft enough, it drained. And I said, oh, I'm feeling kind of wet. What in the world's going on? And I was smelly. It was just terrible. So I jumped in the shower. As I jumped in the shower and the hot water was hitting that area, especially on my shoulder and my chest, it totally drained. The core came out and it hasn't come back yet.
Wow. Wow, that's amazing.
So it has been amazing. It really, really has been amazing. So,
you have so many amazing stories, MJ. God, you're
wow.
like a walking billboard for LifeWave. That's amazing.
Wow. Well, I would love to tell it. I forget so much, like killing the horse, preventing a horse from being a thoroughbred racehorse from being
Yeah.
euthanized, in 3 days where turn that down, where a veterinarian couldn't even heal the horse $14,000 later. $14,000 in approximately 1 month. She could not heal the horse. And I come with the patches, all the patches, and I put them all on the horse's leg in a circle around the incision or the problem, and wrapped it up. And 3 days later, that horse was healed from the inside out. That was a 12-year-old horse, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yep, 12-year-old horse. And he lived 5 years more than, so he lived until he was 17. So it was
Wow.
amazing.
Gosh, that's amazing
And
stories.
that
Wow.
was the first day, my friend. That was the first day I joined LifeWave. I was ignorance on fire, and I still ignorance on fire.
You are. You got some great stories. I love your stories. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Majay. All right, everyone. Thanks for all your shares. Another miracles keep getting better. It's just amazing. I just every day I'm like, how can we top that? And here we topped it every single time. We top them over and over and over again. It's just incredible. And just remember, we have the water machine coming out, and just imagine all of the miracles that we're going to start to share with the water machine. Wow. We're going to take this to another level again. It's going to be amazing. Wow. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night. Lots of love to you guys. And if you want to unmute and say good night, we'll see you guys next time.
Good night.
Thank you,
Good
Michael.
night, you guys.
Bye, everyone.
Michael.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you for all the
Good
work.
night,
Everyone.
everyone.
Thank you, Pam, Dr. Pam, for coming
Good
on.
night,
And
everybody.
Ray. Oh my
Thank
God.
you,
Thanks, everybody,
everyone.
for coming on.
Good, Denise. Good
Adios.
talk, Denise.